Hello World Wide Web, I'm Dr. Shadow, the internet personality with the best cult following. Willing to wait months and months for a new video to the point where a lot of you think I legit might have actually died. And even willing to put up with bogus copyright claims that take way too long. Actually, I don't know if I can make that reference. Is the Cult of Curse of Chucky review up yet, or is the Cult of Chucky review also held up by a ridiculous copyright claim? In any case, I just ate like 30 boxes of Nutri-Grain bars and I feel great. So let's jump on Cult of Chucky. At the very least, this one does feel like a proper sequel and not a pseudo-reboot, as it clearly and obviously takes place after the events of Curse of Chucky. Chucky killed off Nika's entire family. Nika got it pinned on her because the authorities were more interested in giving us a bad ending than making any sense, and the writers didn't expect us to question it. And now she's institutionalized. Much like I nearly was after having watched that thing. The doctors have convinced her, after years and years of painful electroshock therapy, it wasn't the doll, but it was her all along, and she goes with that. But wouldn't you know it, part of her therapy is exposure, so they bring along a Chucky doll, and all of a sudden, people around the asylum start dying left and right. Funny thing, that. Is it real, or is she crazy? Considering she's only existed for one of the previous 6 movies, I'm betting on the former, but let's take a look at Cult of Chucky and find out. The movie opens up.
The Second Amendment isn't just obsolete, it's dangerous.
By pissing me the fuck off. I mean, yeah, I guess you could maybe give a logical argument as to why freedom is dangerous, but you're gonna have a hell of a time convincing me it's obsolete. This paragon of Reddit isn't important anyway. She's just here to establish her date. Andy Barclay. Played once again by Alan Vincent, the original. And the one that was always pictured in every single time they had the news clippings referencing Andy Barclay. Guess Justin Whalen really was just a one-off. As was the love interest established in the 3rd movie, I guess, because she's nowhere to be seen, much like this gal, after hearing that Andy, horror of horrors, has even more than one gun!
I should go.
Funny thing, she's here trying to avoid firearms as much as possible, and yet he's the one that dodged the bullet. So sorry, Andy, only Justin Whalen is allowed to have romantic interests. Ah well, he might be all alone as he drives home, but he's still got a very fulfilling life. Look at that dang old gun case! Life goals right there. But the top prize of Andy's collection is held in a super secret safe. Chucky's head! I mean, can you imagine the kind of crazy adventure Andy must have gone on to wind up in a situation where he has Chucky's decapitated head under lock and key in his house? Man, must have been one heck of a movie. Oh well, we're watching this one now. As he came home alone, again, it seems Andy has brought Chucky out for some social interaction. Just a nice chat and a nice doobie. Heck, Andy's even got a soft spot for the stuffed psycho, giving him that hit he wants. With no lungs, but whatevs. When Chucky tries to bite the man, though, that's when we find out what his hobby really is. Torturing his captive over and over again. That could be worse, Chuck. He could have just turned your head into a bong. An evil bong, if you will. Now that we reached the opening credits, guess what? That chunk with Andy had next to nothing to do with the plot of the movie. But on the plus side, we're back with Nika, played again by Fiona Dourif, as they administer electroshock therapy, trying to convince her that she is a psycho killer.
I can still see him in my nightmares. His twisted face, that horrible laugh.
Hey look, lady, I'm doing the best with what I got. We don't all get to the offspring of Hollywood's hottest celebrities. Oh, she means Chucky. As they explained to Dr. Foley, played by Michael Theriault, he's been trying to convince her for years that Nika is in fact an insane mass murderer who killed her family for no apparent reason and simply blamed the doll because that move was too out of character to mentally deal with. In fact, the therapy has been so effective, she's being moved to a slightly lower security facility.
That means more privacy, more independence, more freedom.
Yeah, I hear you, Doc, but a cage that occasionally plays smooth jazz is still a cage. She's still heartbroken about how she left Alice an orphan, but no worries. Here's a new room and a new character, Nurse Carlos, played by Zach Santiago. Nika is taken aback by how friendly he is, and he's like, no, I'm not your friend. I just noticed you're in a wheelchair and, well, you know.
My husband has MS.
I'm sorry.
I don't let it keep him from living his life.
He refuses to let Nika's wheelchair stop him from treating her just as he would everyone else. So step out of line and he's gonna tackle your ass to the ground. Equality. But a new hospital means new faces, and it being a psychiatric hospital means they're all, unique characters, to say the least. Such as Angela here, played by Marina Stephenson Kerr.
I spent my whole life here. Then I died. Right here in this room.
Yeah, well, I've spent all of 5 minutes here and I already wish I was dead. But whoopsie, Angela is very much alive, as pointed out by Nika's new best friend.
I'm Michael.
Played by Adam Herding, who played Officer Stanton in Curse of Chucky. And no, I don't think they're related or the same character. Unless this movie introduces even more ways for people to come back from the dead. He makes a good enough first impression on her and asks, "Hey, where are you from?" when she mentions Lockmore, which I assume is the name of the maximum security place. You know, the one with more locks. He immediately realizes she's the psycho bitch who murdered her family and blamed it all on Chucky.
You still have a thing for redheads?
What?
Because
Honestly, I was confused at first just because of the standard horror movie 5% color saturation going on here. But hey, they're friendly enough. I'm sure they'll be fast friends in no time. Okay, I know there's the old adage, don't stick your dick in crazy. I'm pretty sure it also applies to don't stick yourself with some crazy dick.
So why'd you do it?
Claire.
We're all wondering the same thing here, right?
Well, she's gonna be fucking nuts then. She's gonna be fucking nuts. Oh, they're talking about the familicide thing. Claire, played by Gracelyn Kung, is more than a little taken aback about having someone quite as crazy as Nika as her new asylum roommate. But her new fuck buddy's got her back. Nika is apologetic for her actions, and Madeline, played by Elizabeth Rosen, is more motherly, her main concern being if Nika feels better. Dr. Foley assures them that Nika isn't a danger to anyone anymore, so don't you worry. Or actually do, because Angela pipes up like, "Hey, Nika, I actually got a message for you from Chucky."
He called me on the phone. He said to tell you he's coming for you.
He also said to go and buy a few $100s worth of vanilla gift cards, but I'm not allowed to go outside anymore. Dr. Foley said he figured the other patients might start spouting off with this Chucky nonsense, but don't worry, because he's got a plan. Exposure therapy! Whipping out a good guy doll who enthusiastically announces, "Hi, I'm Chucky, wanna play?" Interestingly enough, Nika isn't even the most terrified about this.
He said Chucky.
They had 50 different names. 2% of them were Chucky.
You're saying it's a coincidence?
Not at all. I paid for a Chucky.
Well, just exactly how much did you pay? This good guy doll is in remarkably good condition considering the decades it's been since they've been made. And a Chucky model, those definitely have to go for a premium. I'm just saying, Andy's probably could go for a few $1,000s, and it's not exactly in great condition. But looky here, Madeline is enamored with the doll. She declares, "It's my baby." So, fuck it, she can have it. Not like they were using it for anything else.
I like to be hugged.
I can't believe he's talking already. Madeline, stop it.
Madeline, I've dealt with your babbling and baby talk, but I draw the line at product placement. Claire grabs the doll, but when Nika comes to Madeline's defense, Claire thinks she seems a little too concerned with respecting the doll. Well, that's nothing some random threats of murder can't solve. Threatening to poison Claire does get her to drop the doll, so I guess we need another curveball before this asylum gets too sane.
I'm Mark, by the way. It's nice to meet you. I've heard a lot about you.
It appears Michael was not Michael, but Mark! Or is he? When he explains that Michael is currently in the pool training, Nika realizes that the man means Michael Phelps, Olympic gold medalist swimmer. And the others let her know this is because the motherfucker's not Michael or Mark. The man's moniker is Malcolm.
We call him multiple Malcolm.
Nobody calls me that.
For you see, he has dissociative identity disorder. Asterisk. As usual with most movies, this has absolutely next to nothing to do with the real condition and the actual symptoms involved with it. But it sure makes for some good horror and comedy writing, am I right? But wait, Nika has a visitor. The new legal guardian of Alice just so happened to stop by, Miss Valentine.
Did anyone ever tell you look exactly like Jennifer Tilly?
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Of course, in the previous movie, Chucky did mention involvement with the Tillys, so it would be possible Nika could pick up on that, but to be fair, that was in passing in a really heavy situation that she's probably tried to forget for a while, so it's forgivable that she doesn't pick up on that quite so fast, you know. Nevertheless, Nika is happy that after all this time, she can finally catch up with how little Alice is doing. After what Nika did, she's heartbroken and very concerned about the little one.
She's dead, Miss Pierce.
See? Told you it'd be a spoiler. Evidently, Dr. Foley didn't realize this is what Miss Valentine had to say, but Nika must know just how the fuck did that happen? Valentine's like, I don't know, broken heart, I guess. Oh, but before I forget, guess what? Alice wanted you to have this, her wonderful, happy, good guy doll, Chucky. Be sure to take care of it for her, would you? Yeah, I bet you feel real stupid spending all that money for a good guy Chucky doll. We were just gonna get handed one for free later that same day. So now there are 2 Chuckies. And any more of them show up and we're gonna have to invest in a display case. Oh well, just leave his ass on the couch. What's he gonna do? Review horror movies? No, he's more into making them. Sneaking around, Chucky has no problem getting a handy-dandy scalpel. Then it's on to his hunt. But wait! Angela stops him with that whole, oh, you can see me, don't be afraid, I died but haunt this place spiel, and it's holding him up and getting really annoying.
You know what? You're next. I'm gonna be right back. Jesus, fucking cuckoo's nest.
The short conversation also establishes that, yes, Chucky really did speak with her on the phone earlier. Which makes me wonder how the hell he got through directly to a patient and didn't have to schedule an appointment like everyone else. So Chucky closes in to kill Nika. But oh darn it, looks like she ripped out a spoke from her wheelchair and beat him to the punch. Well, we can't have that. So, much to Nika's surprise, she wakes up the next morning to Nurse Carlos's familiar voice. Yeah, Nika, there have been enough off-screen deaths in this series, thank you. For example, hey, remember how Chucky told Angela he'd double back for her? Well, we didn't see it, but Nika does roll in there and see what's waiting for them all that morning. And Chucky knows to watermark this one. Don't need Nika taking all the credit again. Oh, but Andy's still in this movie. Seems he actually recorded his interaction with Dr. Foley, where he took out his Chucky head and shot the damn thing, resulting in it screaming in agony.
You should get a job in the movies. I want to see Nika Pierce. Could you please show Mr. Barkley out?
But Dr. Foley doesn't believe him. Of course, he came in with hard, irrefutable evidence. If Curse of Chucky taught us anything, it's that no one in this world really cares about that. If you want to convince him that Nika is innocent, just tell him that her family was slaughtered by a largemouth bass.
You know what, Andy? What if you really are crazy?
What the fuck you mean, what if? Back in the loony bin, though, Claire is much more concerned about the fucking mad woman in their midst.
Nika did it. She left her fucking calling card in Angela's blood.
Angela did that.
Why would she do that?
Are you seriously gonna start asking for motivations with any of you motherfuckers in here? Malcolm, however, believes the simplest explanation is that Chucky did it. But then that begs the question, which Chucky specifically?
Where the hell did he come from?
From Alice. From her guardian.
I was gonna say the seventh circle of hell. Or Chicago, same thing. But Nika just realized something.
Oh my God. Tiffany Valentine. That was Charles Lee Ray's girlfriend.
Wait, is that her name? Oh. I guess it was established earlier? If you're the kind of person to dig through every director interview. I guess Nika's Google search in the last movie was a lot more thorough than I thought. And it gives Nika the time to explain that Charles was the murderer who died in a toy store, and legend has it, possessed a good guy's doll.
Nika, it's just a doll.
Then prove it.
What?
Right here to everybody in this room. Prove that it's just a doll.
Okay. Well, for one thing, Mother Dog is 2 feet tall and made of plastic. Oh, she means prove it has no pain response. As such, Dr. Foley whips out a lighter and proceeds to burn the doll's hand.
Not yet. Oh, this is ridiculous.
I mean, I get what you're going for, but Nika, let's face it, if someone set your toes on fire, you ain't exactly jumping out of that chair. They keep burning away at the doll's hand, leaving it brutally disfigured, but it still maintains a stiff, doll-like composure.
Wait a minute now, him.
Mika.
He could have switched places with it somehow.
You leave my baby alone.
Maddie, wait.
Well, one of you bastards is Chucky, and I'm gonna burn you all until we find him! Nika feels distraught, but Malcolm believes her, or at the very least would rather play it safe with a possibly possessed killer doll situation. Thus, Nika explains the basics of Chucky's motivations, wanting to kill them all, then go for Nika. They try to trail Madeline, but oh no, she has gone outside, down some stairs where Nika cannot follow. And Malcolm, kinda lost some outside privileges after a recent episode. No bother, Nika can provide a handy-dandy distraction.
It's just right over here. I think there's something stuck. Yeah, it's right here.
I was under the impression that this was a medium security facility. What the hell is maximum security? The sleeping guard? Claire, though, is sick and tired of Chucky this and Chucky that, intending to trash the doll. But what's this? It bit her arm!
What have you done to yourself now?
No, it was him.
What do you know? She is someone who would recognize the truth if it came up and bit her. Foley says, hey, why not come with Carlos and I? Later, first we gotta watch Madeline toss Chucky into an open grave, before Malcolm comes in like, hey, anything I can do for you? Stand right here with my back turned? Sure. Don't worry, if he lived, great. If not, you don't have to move him. More importantly, Claire is not that happy with Dr. Foley's decision to tie her ass down to a bed and sedate her. Because nothing says calm, relaxing summer breeze quite like being unable to fucking move. I swear, it's not about therapy or dealing with a crisis situation. 9 times out of 10, the doctors just don't want to fucking bother with you. But they can't just do nothing about that whole Malcolm fall down, go boom problem, and they pull him up from the grave. Or do they? So Andy's got that talking Chucky head, there's that doll running around biting people, and now Malcolm's doing the crazy eyes. Though I guess that last part isn't too surprising. But how's Claire doing? It could be better, especially when the real and very terrifying killer doll she was trying to warn everybody about is now her only companion, using a can of compressed air to shatter the skylight, resulting in raining CGI glass just like Bride of Chucky. Woo! Actually, several magnitudes more awesome than in Bride of Chucky. So awesome, in fact, word gets around to Andy, who is mighty confused.
What the fuck?
You thought I was the only one?
Kinda. But Andy has a plan. Yet another Chucky doll! Which brings the count to 4. 3.5. How does this work? Nika tries to explain to Dr. Foley that Chucky is alive, as well as Chucky. Multiple Chuckies! But he's not buying it.
I know how crazy that sounds.
No crazier than a single doll, Nika.
It's a bit crazier. All this time we've been working on the soul transfer theory. How does he get multiple souls? Does he grab one of those cherry power-ups from Super Mario? The doctor pipes up like, hey, you know what I think would help? Hypnosis! But not just any hypnosis, the kind fueled by drugs. So he injects her with miscellaneous medicinal material and begins to flash her. And right quick we learn that this is not a technique for extracting hidden memories, but rather implanting false ones.
What if I were to tell you, Nika, there are recordings of you killing both Angela and Claire? What would you say to that?
Nifty! Show me. Bring him out. You got all this handy-dandy proof, fucking prove it! But what's this? Nika has something else to share. Chucky is right behind you! Ah! Geez, a little warning next time, Doc.
Holy shit!
Whew. Thanks, Chucky. I was really worried there for a minute. So, slightly better news. Chucky's here, and Nika is still zonked out of her mind. He utilizes the receptive state she's in to tell her that she should take this broken glass and kill the pervy doctor. Later, first she has to have one of those drug-induced horror visions, seeing Alice.
We've been waiting for you.
Hey, yo, Alice, hold up. I just gotta ask, what's with the ruby slippers? That's a Wizard of Oz reference. I always figured you were an Alice in Wonderland reference. Like 90% of the characters out there named Alice. Whatevs. Point is, giant Chucky! And waking up in the room where Claire was killed. Okay, that's enough freaky-deaky drug trips for now. It's the next morning and Dr. Foley is late. Malcolm is acting quite flippant about it, and Nika asks him, "Yo, Mark, what's wrong?" But he's like, "I'm not Mark."
Fine, what the hell is your name today?
It's Charles. I think we've met.
Because he is no longer Michael Phelps nor Mark Zuckerberg, but Charles Lee Ray. At the very least, he's slightly less evil than the last one. Nika asks Madeline if she can hold Chucky, but that just scares her off. And before she can follow, Nika is interrupted by Dr. Foley. Hey, he's not dead, but that's not to say he's happy about what went down in their hypnosis session.
You assaulted me, Nika.
Yes, Nika, you stood up and snuck behind me without me noticing to bash me in the back of the head with a bottle. Man, I wish he really did have those secret cameras so we could see that one.
I'm willing to keep my mouth shut about this incident. If you are.
He just figures she was probably cognizant enough to realize what was going on and did the natural thing. But that just leaves her very confused considering she was zonked out of her mind. So things ain't looking hot for Nika, but how's Andy holding up?
Hello?
Hello, Andy.
Fun fact, this scene was not originally planned, but when fans heard that Andy Barclay was coming back, and this was actually an opportunity for Andy and Tiffany to interact for the first time in film, they got really excited. Problem was, that scene didn't exist. Until now. As expected with that kind of setup, this doesn't really progress the plot in any meaningful way, but there's a reason the fans wanted it. It's still really fun to see these two bounce off of each other.
He said, disembowel. Now, what do you suppose that means, Andy?
Knife goes in, guts come out. Anyway, back with Madeline and Chucky. He's sucking them titties, but as it turns out, this is a last meal, as we learn the truth of Madeline's madness. She's haunted by the memories of her crying child, a child that would not stop crying no matter what she tried, except of course the handy-dandy smothering them to death with a pillow. Eventually, Dr. Foley gets access to the room and gets Madeline to calm down, but Nika is there like, "The damn doll's alive, kill it for real," which is more than a bit cruel, don't you think? They do go around and bury the doll in the handy-dandy graveyard, and we forget all about that. Oh, but Andy does make it to the asylum that night. The guard's like, "No visitors at this hour." So Andy's like, "Fine, I'd like to have myself committed." The guard still turns him away, so... For a second there, I thought a second guard would have walked up to him like, "Wow, looks like you are in some trouble. Since we're friends, I'll look the other way and take care of that fine for you." But how is Chucky doing? "Oh, would you look at that smothering that I'll didn't do diddly squat because it ain't got no lungs." Though I'm still wondering how it smoked all that weed. But wait, we've got another one of those handy-dandy packages with no return address. Another good guy doll.
What happened to his hair?
Why would anyone send this to me?
Hey, you already started a collection. Do you really want me to believe that you're not interested in collecting the whole set? He decides to just say fuck it and leave it there, as it can't be that important. There's some pretty heavy stuff going on at the moment.
Dr. Foley put you on suicide watch.
Yes, a watch they will perform just as focused and unwavering as the one for old Jeffy boy.
I'll be checking on you every 15 minutes.
So if you're gonna do it, make it snappy, capiche? Unsurprisingly, 15 minutes is more than enough time considering Chucky can come back in completely unbeknownst to the staff and take his sweet time with the downright torturous execution of Madeline. How can this be? It's only been 2 weeks. How the hell is that even possible? After After this little mishap, Nurse Ashley, played by Ali Taterin, decides to say fuck it and leave, quitting her job as the body count rising is getting to be a bit much for her. Dr. Foley's had enough though, instructing Carlos to dispose of the doll before returning to his office to find Nika. But how did she get in, being all paraplegic and in a straitjacket?
It was Chucky.
Look, I get that you're pervy and corrupt and need her to be insane for you to get your rocks off, but considering half your patients are currently 6 feet under, maybe take this a little more seriously.
Why do I always fall for the crazy ones?
Well, if you're always taking advantage of your patients and you happen to work in a nut house. Or he's just looking for someone as crazy as he is because he's there like either Madeline killed herself or Nika killed her while bound in a straitjacket. Somehow.
You know, it doesn't really matter to me. Because either way, it's gonna make a hell of a book.
Oh, just don't come crying when all the reviews start pouring in complaining about the glaring plot holes. The thing that upsets him is that now Nika will be under more locks in Lockmore. More cameras means he can't sneak in sexy time anymore. Oh, what a tragedy. Never mind that, he got her shoes from somewhere. Does he have a foot fetish too? Well, he's nutsos in the butso, so let's go with that.
No one's going to listen to you.
I just can't with this guy.
Man, you'd think after the first time he'd keep his head on a swivel. Or at the very least start wearing a helmet. So now, the Chuckies begin to gather, as Dirty Boy here mentions that Andy Barclay has arrived.
It behooves us to watch our step. Behooves. Listen to you. You sound like Hannibal Lecter. Can't believe they canceled that show.
Yeah, well-loved classic horror franchise has a very successful TV series with gorillions of fans, better written than most, ongoing, and then just suddenly, just without warning, poof. I mean, who does that? But once they find Spare Chucky, they waste no time bringing him to life as well. Now that the cat is very well out of the bag, you might be wondering just how in the hell Chucky can even do this.
A few years ago, I came across this groovy new spell on VoodooForDummies.com that changed everything.
That's how. Yes, that is the entire explanation we're given for that. God, I wish I never retired the head slap. The brain damage would be worth it at this point. Yep, seems like you can just multi-possess now, and it just works. On anything. Especially Alice.
People trust cute little girls almost as much as cute little dolls. But little girls can get hurt when their victims try to fight back.
Oh, just a second there, Chucky. Wasn't the catalyst for you wanting to possess Andy in the first movie being the fact that you got shot and it fucking hurt? Oh, hey, Carlos, you're still in this movie. Never mind.
I never felt so alive! Yeah, well, you've been alive for like 2 minutes.
See, I'm still just wondering about the soul thing. Do you just copy the soul, or is that part of the soul? If one of them dies, does that return to the main soul, or is it just kind of lost in the ether? Is there a hard limits on how many possessions you can do, or is this like a Diablo 2 Necromancer situation? They're more interested in who gets to kill Andy. So they argue who has it worst. The one-armed doll who was buried alive? The one who got their hand tortured and melted?
Hello? Look at my hair. Oh shit, you win. Absolutely. Sorry, pal, you go fuck them up real good. Have fun.
Or the one with the bad haircut? Sure, I guess. And I'm not saying I don't understand. I'm just of the opinion that I would rather get a haircut than have an arm chopped off and be buried alive. So he's off, and nobody notices anything, because of course this place has all of one guard, and they're busy worrying about someone parked in the fire lane. You know, Tiff, I admire your dedication, but I also do recall you very specifically mocking Chucky's knife affinity back when he first showed up in these movies. But surprise, Chucky never planned to kill Nika, as long as you ignore all those times he tried to kill her last movie. Nope, he has bigger plans. Possession. which goes about as smoothly as you could ask for. No one stops him, and I guess voodoo magic means nerve damage is optional. Oh, but that's right, Dr. Foley is still alive. Man, Chucky's got a hell of a swinging arm.
This is for Nika.
Correction, was alive. But hey, Dr. Foley got his wish. Nika is a psycho killer. In kind of a roundabout way. But while she's stretching her legs, Malcolm was murdering a nurse. For you see, he is Charles Lee Ray. Which Nika disagrees with.
I'm Charles.
But everybody calls me Chucky.
Nobody calls me that.
Shocking twist, the man with multiple personalities was in fact not possessed by Chucky, and was indeed just fucking crazy. It's kinda interesting, not bad twist. Doesn't really go anywhere, but hey, it'll make tallying up a list of Chucky kills a lot more confusing. So real Chucky laughs at fake Chucky while plastic Chucky murders multiple Malcolm. Oh, right, murder. That reminds me, old Buzzcut here was sent to kill Andy. By himself, and therefore easily overpowered. Funny thing, it's kind of hard to get the surprise on someone whose childhood was going through this exact scenario twice over, and then turning into Justin Whalen for the hat trick. But what's this? And he jams his hand into the doll and tears out a gun. Okay, hold up. Okay, so I get he had a plan, and he's really lucky that it just so happened to work. Cutting the hair was the thing where they'd be like, oh yeah, you alone, go after him. Yeah, you do that. It's a heck of a thing, but sure. However, you smuggled the gun into the hospital, which, yeah, that's a thing you gotta figure out how to do if you're gonna be using it there, but through a package that they just don't screen here? Just how low security is medium security? So Andy shoots Chucky to death. Just the one, though. There's still a lot more of them kicking around, such as Nika Chucky.
You kill me, you kill her. Think about it.
What? You mean you didn't even shove a few spare magazines up the doll's ass? But someone is coming, so Nika Chucky locks Andy in his cell. Again. The dolls go into doll mode, and Nika Chucky easily waltzes right out the front door into the waiting arms and getaway vehicle of Tiffany. So evil wins. Or does it?
It was kind of nice having Alice around, you know?
Nah, fuck that kid.
Yes, evil absolutely wins. Anyway, that was Cult of Chucky. And I can't say it's without its problems. But hey, I liked it. I don't gotta tell you how much I was not impressed by Curse of Chucky. Or well, maybe I do gotta tell you if YouTube's copyright bullshit still has it blocked by the time this video goes up. The point is, Curse of Chucky tried different directions, but came off kind of generic. And when you break down the plot, there were far too many holes to make sense. Cult of Chucky, however, I feel like it tried to do a lot of those things that were attempted in Curse, and actually succeeded with them. Yeah, Psychiatric Hospital is still a pretty generic horror locale, but not nearly as generic as the literal old dark house. There are still plenty of panning artistic shots to be had in Cult, but it never overstates its welcome, like spending 10% of your running time on eating chili. And most importantly, while the plot goes into some weird directions and does some ass pulls, it never pulls a twist on us that renders the first 70% of the movie pointless, insanely out of character, or both. Honestly, I appreciate the fact that Cult took a lot of what Curse was trying and actually pulled it off. Now, like I said, that's not to say it's without its own problems. The multiple Chucky's angle is interesting, but much like how Curse just had Chucky suddenly interested in hopping bodies, even though Seed said he was beyond that, the explanation really isn't there. It's not as big an issue, but for such a major change in how the horror works, you'd think there'd be a little more thought put into it. More unfortunate, though, is that Andy Barclay has just about nothing to do with anything. Yes, he's here. Sure, he does stuff. But the simple truth is you could delete every single scene with him in it, and the movie will work just as well without him. A depressing truth for the return of a beloved character. At the end of the day, Cult of Chucky is weird but fun. It's the Child's Play movie for you gorehounds out there, and the bad ending this time around actually feels earned, so it's not a slap in the face like it was in Curse. Coming in at 3 psychotic killer dolls out of 5. It's my favorite Chucky movie since Child's Play 2. Or, well, Bride of Chucky was also really good. And, you know, Seed was fun. Okay, it's better than Curse. Thank you all for watching. I've been Darker Shadow. And remember, guns don't kill people if you don't bring enough ammo to finish the job.
A children's toy is actually beating them to death with a yardstick, or setting them on fire, eviscerating them.
All actual examples.